All right. Good afternoon, Kansas and beyond. We've got an interesting story out of Jackson County for y'all today. I got Dick here from Kansas Freedom News up there. If everybody remember, he's the one that broke the Elk County story with us and actually showed it to us to get us on it. And there's been some strange occurrences going on up there at the Jackson County meeting. And Dick, why don't you give us a little background on what kind of got this all started?
Well, I got this audio because I've had people reach out to me, look into this solar thing, because I guess some people feel that the county commissioners are trying to push the solar farm industry into here, and it's reported to be one of the largest in the country, almost 5,000 acres. So I was listening to this audio that somebody recorded of the meeting that was supposed to talk a little bit about that. As I was listening, a gentleman tried to speak there at the meeting, and he was shut down immediately by the commissioner, especially Keith Kelly.
And they're talking about some legal stuff, or that he has to talk to him through the attorney. What's that all about?
Well, when I reached out to him for comment on when I heard this, and I put my video out, his letter stated, or his email to me, I guess, was a cease and desist letter to these commissioners, because he was also running for commissioner against Keith Kelly. And I guess during that running of their campaign, Mr. Kelly, I guess, and Dan Brenner, from the story that I'm getting, was going around slandering and, spreading false rumors and slanderous things. And so after a while, I think he said he let it slide about 8 months, maybe longer, until he finally reached out to his attorney to have a cease and desist letter about those slanderous remarks. So
okay, and so everybody's familiar. Shemp over here on the left, that's Keith Kelly, and then over here on the right, you got Mo. That's old Dan Brenner. Let's take a look at what happened at this meeting. And Dick, when was this meeting again? Is this just this past Monday?
Just this last Monday. I want to say the 16th.
Okay, let's take a look and see what happened here, guys.
I'm not surprised your politics. I just Jeff Brandon, you said no, enough. You have an attorney. You'll need to go through your attorney to our attorney. To do what? To communicate with this board. Okay. You sent a letter to us. You started that process. Okay. So that's the process that you want to communicate with us. Until our attorney is told otherwise, you don't get to communicate with us one-on-one.
Now, I got a question there, Dick, because he's not actually trying to communicate one-on-one, is he? He's actually in a meeting.
Yeah.
In a public meeting, right?
Public meeting, open to the floor to public comment.
Okay, and what was he trying to speak to there when he started to talk?
It was about the Jefferson Energy Center that's in St. Mary's, Kansas.
Okay,
over by St. Mary's.
How's that relevant to what was he trying to say about that?
Well, I don't know what he was trying to say in regards to it, but I think it was in objection to what Dan Brenner was saying, that Jackson County commissioners shut it down. I think Tom feels that they had eminent domain, that the commissioners couldn't shut it down anyway. Of course, that's something I'm looking into. I've reached out to Jefferson Energy Center to see if there's somebody with historical knowledge, because this was back in the 70s.
Gotcha.
Historical knowledge about the process of what they went through to find the location that they're currently at, to see if we can.
Okay, so this is not even related to anything talking about these guys supposedly harassing him or anything. He's talking about a common topic that's around the county that people are talking about.
Yeah, it's all surrounds the solar farm stuff.
Okay.
So,
and are they trying to? So is he in opposition of the solar farm then?
Tom is in opposition of the solar farm, and I think that's one of the reasons he mentioned why he ran.
Okay, so he ran to be in opposition from it. And who did he run against?
Keith Kelly, the one.
He ran against Keith Kelly, the fellow that's trying to shut him down.
Yes.
You know, that sounds awful familiar. We saw a local doctor that got shut down at a Douglas County Commission meeting by an opposing candidate named Patrick Kelly, that he used to like to shut down Dr. Spees quite often. And that was the same kind of juxtaposition that was going on. You had somebody from the outside, speaking a little truth, running against a candidate, and then that candidate's using his authority on the commission to shut it down. Let's
and I think
take
some of
this
that
off.
goes even further, and I'm looking into that, see if I can get some people to reach out to me, but there's probably more behind Mr. Kelly's actions in some of this. So,
Well, he obviously doesn't want people to speak. Let's hear what else happens here.
Through your attorney.
You got it.
All right? Yes, Pam?
Mr. Hoffman is a member of the public, is he not? Is he
There
not?
we go.
He chose his direct. I'll let our attorney explain this.
Got a citizen speaking up.
Relinquishes those rights to speak at a public meeting?
No, he doesn't relinquish any rights. He hasn't relinquished any rights. He has chosen himself to seek this method of communication because he has I think, more than a political issue. So I'm not going to go into detail about it. I think we both are trying to respect at least the legal side of this. Again, with hope that that will continue.
Now, see, I'm not understanding how the legal side of this interferes with his public speaking ability.
no, and it really doesn't, because the cease and desist was on the slanderous actions that was taken during the campaign. Well, Keith Kelly won the primary, so Tom's basically out of it unless he gets a bunch of people to write him in. So I don't see how this has anything to do with that. It has to be because they butt heads. It's kind of like I think Mr. Kelly took it personal. That's what I think. I mean, that's what it's looking like. Mr. Kelly's taking this personal.
And he's using his authority as commissioner to tell this guy he can't speak at a public meeting about a common public concern.
That is my take on it, outside looking in.
And have you talked to Tom? Is he pursuing any kind of legal action or at least consulting some attorneys on this?
His attorney was going to reach out to the county and do something, but Tom said, hold on. I mean, Tom's a Christian. He's a nice guy, sweet guy from the time I've talked to him. I've gotten that email and a few phone calls since and some text messages.
So he's not trying to ruffle feathers. He just wants everybody to do stuff right.
Yeah, and it's not that he's out to sue the county, because he knows ultimately the taxpayers are going to pay for it. But
Right.
I think it's mostly like, hey, straighten your act.
Yeah, exactly. Let's watch the rest of this kind of play out here a little bit.
Anything else?
Can he be put on the agenda to speak?
No.
I like that the citizen's speaking up.
No.
His lawyer can step in front of us and communicate if that's what you
So
say.
he talked, his
He
lawyer,
pays taxes in the county, he can't be put on the
his lawyer
agenda.
can talk to me too about
He chose this, not me.
changing that setup. If he wants to become a public commenter, then we'll address the way that gets done.
Yeah.
And I'm all for it.
So if he wants to become a public commenter, he knows what he can do. He can just back off all this other stuff he's doing, right?
Be my guess. I
Is
don't
that
know.
literally the threat that I heard, the quid pro quo that I heard offered by that attorney?
Yeah, and I don't get what this attorney is even trying to accomplish by doing that. I mean, he's that's what blew my mind out of this whole thing, was that particular fact, is this attorney is assisting violating this man's rights.
And see, we see that a lot of times too. We see it in Elk County, where that fellow Paul Dean doesn't seem to really know what's going on. But this guy's in Holton, Kansas, which isn't too far from Topeka. You got to think he does some work in Topeka occasionally.
I think
you think he'd rub shoulder with some people that have a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see here.
Yeah, I am too.
Oh yeah, Keith's all
But
for it too.
Again, understand, he made that decision, not us.
So if you hire a lawyer to represent you, you can no longer speak at a public meeting, even though you're a taxpayer.
Bombshell right there.
Just
Exactly.
I mean, again, this is regarding things that are not part of this process. And there can be an accord.
You hire a lawyer to represent you, you can no
She said
longer-
it right there, man. She said it
Right
right there when she said, if you go find a lawyer to represent you.
Not us.
So if you hire a lawyer to represent you, you can no longer speak at a public meeting, even though you're a taxpayer.
We're not
I mean, that's basically what they're doing, Dick. They're saying that because you hired a lawyer and you're going to pursue your legal options, which is your right, that now you can no longer speak at our public meeting.
Right. And I think there was a lot more behind on why Tom got this attorney involved. And I think it goes back to the election part of it. And I haven't dug too much into that to verify any of that stuff, but it's like anybody who has an issue and you get an attorney, you send a cease and desist letter, which is means, hey, if you're spreading these rumors, stop. That's all it is. And that's blatantly these three commissioners and this attorney saying, if you do that, if you stand up for yourself, protect yourself because of some unlawful or possible discriminatory actions that's being taken place, you're now going to be punished in the commissioner's board open public meetings.
Well, punished, hell, you're having your voice taken away from the democratic process.
Yep.
You're not being heard. And that's the same thing that's been happening over here for quite a while. If you don't say the exact right things, it's just like the doc says here, it's retaliation.
Exactly. Retaliation. And these three people, these three men, commissioners, took an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution. And I think that's what makes me more sick than anything else.
Well, and this is that defend that they can't ever bring themselves to do because they're too focused on people's feelings.
Yeah. Yeah. And mainly their own feelings and their own egos.
Yep. Man, I'm going to keep an eye on this one. And everybody in Jackson County, there is a meeting this Monday, right, Dick?
Monday, 9 a.m.
Now, tell me about this meeting. You guys in the county go to that. And
Well, I can't go. I work during that time. So
since you work, you're not able to attend the county meeting?
Unless I want to burn my own personal vacation time.
Now, and remind everybody who you work for.
Jackson County.
Guys, Jackson County employee can't go to the meeting and participate in the democratic process without burning vacation time. So, boy. Well, we're going to keep an eye on Jackson County, Dick, and I know that you have been for a while too.
Yep.
This man needs to be allowed to speak, and I hope I think his name is Mr. Hoffman. They said,
Thomas Hoffman. Yep.
Yep. And I would strongly encourage Thomas, if you see this or you're watching, go in there and challenge them to shut you down and build a history of them shutting you down, because what they're doing is wrong and it's a rights violation. And I think your attorney's probably already told you that. But the more times they shut you down shows a pattern of conduct. Maybe we can finally get to some conspiracy charges on some of these folks. That's where the real meat of the federal crimes are, is if we can get the actual conspiracy in a case and get it convicted.
Yep.
Because that's what happens.
Exactly.
So, well, guys, I appreciate you tuning in. This is just a little short one this afternoon, but go out and watch. We're going to drop a link for the just the short video of the actual comments that we just watched here without us talking about it so much. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks, Dick, for coming.
Thank you, Mike.